everybody, what is going on? I am Maximus Rex. This is Big Baby Reviews. Today is Dale Keown Day, so we're looking at least publication-wise, what I think is the next issue in the Pitt run. What this is, as the title implies, is an encore presentation of the very first Pitt story at the end of, or on the flip side, sorry, of Youngblood number 4. So it's being reprinted here, so it is called officially Pitt and a Half. And came out just a little bit after last review's issue of Pitt, and we'll be continuing on a regular series of Pitt with next week's review. Talking about the cover, just kind of reintroducing the scene from that Youngblood number 4 story, as there was no cover to that. Pretty cool Dale Keown story, illustration rather, sorry. Pitt naked in the subway. I gotta say, this quick swooping line here is kind of not very traditional from Dale Keown in drawing, you know, Pitt's leg here, very cartoony, but seems to work. Maybe he was on a deadline or something. I had to get this one out quickly. And Dan Panosian is actually inking this cover, so the art looks a little bit different. His lines tend to be a little more angular and chunkier than Dale Keown's, but I do think they work pretty well together. And generally, Panosian is a pretty good, overall faithful inker to Dale Keown. But I do, looking again at this story from Youngblood number 4, do always appreciate artist and writer Dale Keown inking himself. Brian Houghton is the story where it's a story script. Steve Wolf does the colors, and Ron Kasman the lettering. So what's fun about this reprint of that first story is that we get much less muddled colors. I kind of like the look of it, but I gotta say, having seen this now with slightly brightened up colors, I guess they did that, or just from printing on glossy paper rather than newsprint. They got the colors maybe they were looking more for, the brightness they were looking for. So the only real reason to look at this is just to compare basically how clear it looks compared to the actual first story that was published in Youngblood number 4. But we are still getting inks where I feel like Dale Keown here was almost drawing more back in the mold of kind of Dragon Ring and when he was working at Aircel. And not that there's a regression to the art, but there's a grittiness to it in this first kind of, you get it in here and in the first issue of Pitt, the actual first issue, and then it kind of just goes away. It's not that the art is horrible after that, it's great, but there's just something here, a grittiness, a cartoony movement to it. There's just something I really like. And again, as much as I like those murky colors on that first print of it in Youngblood number 4, I think this is definitely an improvement, and we're definitely getting more clarity. And again, more clarity within the art, so that I can appreciate that slightly more rough kind of look to it here. Maybe, you know, Dale Keown hadn't inked himself in a while, so he was a bit rusty and he was drawing a bit, or inking a bit like dirtier, for lack of a better word, but I think it really works well here, and definitely works, again, for a character like Pitt. This is going to be a short review, obviously, because that first story was very short and nothing was added to it here, in as much as Dale Keown's input and what he's done for the rest of this issue is have someone else draw a tale of the werewolf from issues, I think, 6 or 7 of Pitt, somewhere around there. And I'm just not really into the story, not really into the art, other than the interesting aspect that we've got 2 characters here that, of course, it's the late 90s. This is definitely Mulder and Scully. Mulder and Scully. That's a funny slip of the lip. Slip of the tongue. Jeez, I cannot talk today. I'm just getting everything backwards. Ass backwards. Anyways, Mulder and Scully, clearly. Not named, but definitely in visual. That's who that's supposed to be. And, you know, you get someone else drawing that kind of werewolf design that Dale Keown's known for. Rather than it being in his own style, it just feels like this guy's kind of trying to do the Dale Keown style on the werewolf. And it just doesn't quite work as well for me as when Dale Keown is the actual guy drawing the werewolf. I still think that the choice of a blue werewolf is kind of interesting. This is before Underworld, so did Underworld kind of get that idea from there? You know, Underworld, say what you will about those movies, but there was something about the way they depicted the werewolves and the skin tone and the fact that they weren't furry and they were kind of blue and stuff was very off and weird and interesting. I always thought the visual was interesting. So it kind of works here with this werewolf as well, I think. And there you go. That's, you know, there's not much to this. This is Pitt and a Half, and that's pretty much basically the end of my review. Yeah, that is it. We've covered this stuff before. So there you go, guys. That's a quick one today because that's 6 pages of review. So, that's not going to be a long one. If you're still watching, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you're subscribed, I appreciate it even more so. If you are not, please do so below. It only takes a quick second. Really helps the channel out, helps us grow, helps get us out there to other people who are like-minded and into the same stuff we are, namely comic books. So everyone out there, sorry for the short one, but have an awesome day anyways.
Like, subscribe, like, subscribe.
King Comics presents Big Baby, Volume 1, Issues 1 to 13, 204 pages of story and art. King Comics also presents Star Crasher one-shot, 32 pages, cosmic sci-fi surrealist adventure. You can find these fine comics at KINGCOMICS.CA, at MaximusRex13 on Instagram, or on Facebook, MaxRex or Big Baby.